Today, I'm sharing my experience with something that has truly changed my life, known as LASIK eye surgery. I've had bad vision for as long as I can remember. I had to wear glasses or contacts at all times, otherwise the world around me would look blurry, and it was exceptionally debilitating. That is why I elected to get LASIK, which is a popular eye surgery that uses a laser to reshape the cornea and drastically improve eyesight. In this video, I'll take you through the entire journey from the procedure itself to the results and my honest thoughts on whether or not it was worth it. Even if you have no plans to get LASIK, I still think that hearing my story has value to it, and plus it's interesting. It's been about 2 years now since I've gotten LASIK, and I've had a lot of time to reflect on my experience since then. So I will walk you through the process step by step, as well as sprinkling in some vlogs I took in different moments during the process. To give some backstory, I started wearing glasses full time when I was 7 years old. And then about 5 years later, I started wearing contacts as well for another 12 years or so. Some of you may even remember me wearing glasses in many of my old YouTube videos. My vision wasn't the absolute worst, but it was still bad enough to where it hindered my ability to carry out normal everyday tasks. I was nearsighted, meaning that I could see things close to my face, but anything in the distance was blurry. My prescription at the time was 3.5, so if I held out my phone at an arm's length, the screen would look fuzzy and I would have a hard time reading it just from this distance alone. Anything further than about an arm's length would get increasingly blurry. I couldn't watch TV from the couch, I wasn't able to read the chalkboard during school presentations, and it certainly was not safe for me to drive without glasses on. I mean, I could probably get by if I drove to familiar places with glasses on, but I wouldn't be able to read any signs or vital information.
Drive, Marky, drive!
Regardless, having to perpetually wear corrective lenses on my face 24/7 wasn't the end of the world, but it was definitely annoying and constraining.
My glasses. Where are my glasses?
Whether it's glasses or contacts, both have their own downsides that come with them. For one, with glasses, you can't rest your head on a pillow sideways, otherwise they're going to protrude out and become unwearable. Furthermore, if you happen to scratch your lenses, your vision is now permanently impaired. Since you rely on your glasses to see clearly, if the lenses are scratched, your vision is also scratched. To make matters worse, your vision can only be so big. Your vision is limited to the size of your two lenses, so anything around it is still out of focus, meaning that your peripheral vision is still 100% blurry.
Stay out of my peripheral vision.
The downsides don't stop there. If it rains outside, you're gonna have water droplets spattered on top of your lenses. If it's foggy or steamy, your glasses are gonna fog up and then you really can't see. Plus, wearing glasses means that you have to wear a piece of metal or plastic on the center of your face all day long. In any case, if you don't like glasses, you can opt for wearing contact lenses instead. But that has its own downsides that also suck. First of all, when you're new to using contacts, learning how to insert and remove them can be extremely time consuming and frustrating. Trying to put something in your eyeball and get it to stay there can be challenging for many beginners. Additionally, you have to take them out every night and clean them. If you forget and fall asleep with them in, it can hurt your eyes and lead to infection.
You have a very serious bacterial infection in your eye.
Whenever I'd sleep in my contacts, I'd wake up with eye goo stuck all over between my eyelids because instead of it being able to form into a crust on the corner of my eye, it became all gooey and sticky. With glasses, you just put them on or take them off, but contacts require daily maintenance such as cleaning, disinfecting, inserting, removing, and requires a proper routine. I eventually switched to daily contacts, which you wear for only one day and then throw them out because they're biodegradable. This removed the cleaning process, but I feel like the dailies made my eyes drier than the other kinds. My main issue with contacts was that they made my eyes exponentially more dry. I had to carry damn eye drops with me everywhere I went because if I didn't, I would be constantly blinking and squinting due to my eyes being so damn dry. The best way I can describe dry eyes with contacts in is that it feels like there's a potato chip over your eyeball and just scratching the hell out of it. Additionally, dry eyes subsequently made my eyes more red, so people probably thought I was high all the time. Granted, I do smoke ganja every day, and that made it even worse. Oh, and you better hope you don't get any smoke in your eye with contacts in, because it will make your eyeballs feel like they're on fire. Interestingly enough, I contracted blepharitis for a period of time due to my contact use. Blepharitis is inflammation of the eyelids and typically happens when bacteria gets in your eyes and or if they are severely dry. In my case, I was undergoing Accutane treatment at the time, which is an acne medication that relentlessly dries out your skin and eyes. That, paired with the fact that I was using contacts every day, was enough for me to develop blepharitis. To treat it, my doctor gave me special medicated drops to use for a few weeks, which did make it go away after a while, but nonetheless, it was still something that I had to deal with that essentially stemmed from me using contacts. Anyhow, those are all the main reasons why contacts and glasses both suck in their own ways.
In my opinion, that sucked.
Now, let's evaluate some of the pros and cons of LASIK eye surgery. One pro is that there's a quick recovery time, and most people can return to normal activities within just a day or two. And the surgery itself is only like 10 minutes long.
Wow, that was fast.
Secondly, it permanently fixes your vision. Your eyes become one less thing you have to worry about every day. Thirdly, the results last forever with a few exceptions. Getting hit in the face can dislodge the corneal flap and make your vision deteriorate again. So people who play contact sports are more prone to needing revision surgeries. Also, LASIK doesn't protect against aging of the eye, so some individuals may still find themselves needing to have reading glasses later in life. However, if that does happen, you could get a LASIK enhancement, which is essentially a touch-up surgery that can recorrect the vision if it shifts over time. One potential side effect from LASIK is chronic dry eye syndrome, and if that happens, you'll probably have to use artificial tear eye drops until the problem subsides. This is probably the most common side effect I hear about this surgery, but in my experience, my eyes were way more dry when I was wearing contacts all the time. Another negative of LASIK is that the surgery itself is fairly expensive. The average cost of the surgery ranges between $2,000 to $3,000 per eye. That may seem like a lot, but if you think about it long term, it could be considered an investment. LASIK is a one-time fee to permanently fix your vision. With glasses or contacts, you have to continuously pay money for presumably the rest of your life. It's not like your vision is going to get better on its own, so you basically do have to pay forever. Whether it's having to buy a new pair of glasses every year or you're running out of contacts or contact solution, corrective lenses are a never-ending purchase. Even if LASIK is technically more money in the long term, I would still probably choose it over glasses or contacts because it literally cures your vision. The headache of having to use corrective lenses is eradicated and entirely forgotten.
Doc, I'm cured.
With all that being said, I was tired of enduring years and years of limitations regarding my eyesight, which is why I finally decided it was time to bite the bullet and inquire about getting LASIK surgery. The first step in my journey to correcting my vision was to consult with an ophthalmologist, which is a medical doctor who specializes in eye care and surgery. After researching different offices, I went to a highly recommended clinic in my area and they ran a bunch of tests to make sure I was a good candidate for LASIK, which most people tend to be. They checked my eye health, measured my corneas, tested my vision, all that jazz. At the end of the day, it is a surgery, so it's important to choose a clinic that makes you feel comfortable and takes time to answer all your questions. I felt like I had made the right choice with my clinic, so it was time for me to move forward with the procedure. In order to begin the procedure, I had to pay a grand total of $3,840 in full at least 1 week before the surgery date. This cost included the surgery itself, the medications, a 1-day checkup after the surgery, then 1 week post-op, then 1 month post-op. They gave me this piece of paper that included the protocol I needed to take with the medications they provided. They gave me ofloxacin, which is an antibiotic eye drop that I had to use 4 times a day, 3 days leading up to the surgery. They also gave me prednisolone, which is a steroidal eye drop that I was instructed to use twice daily, 3 days leading up to the surgery. And lastly, they gave me 2 5-milligram Valium tablets to use on the day of the surgery. Valium is a benzodiazepine, and the goal of taking it is to ease anxiety so that you're calmly able to undergo the surgery, because keep in mind, you're awake during the whole surgery. They don't put you to sleep. I remember them telling me about the Valium. Don't take the Valium right away. Make sure you use it on the day of the surgery. Don't use it up. As if I'm gonna abuse the 2 single tablets they gave me. I don't know if I come off as a drug addict. Maybe it's the hair, I'm not really sure. But they really drove that point home to not abuse the 2 5-milligram tablets of Valium. There's better stuff out there anyway. Anyhow, another important instruction they gave me was to not wear soft contact lenses for 2 weeks prior to surgery. Rigid lenses must be left out for 6 weeks prior to surgery. So I chose to just wear my glasses for the weeks leading up to the surgery just to be safe. Fast forward a bit, here is myself 1 day prior to the surgery. Today is one of the last days in my entire life that I'll ever need these things. I've been wearing glasses since I was in 2nd grade, so what is that, like 7 years old or something? I'm 24 right now. For most of my life, I've been wearing glasses. I wore glasses from 2nd grade to 7th grade, and then I wore contacts pretty much from that point on. I've been wearing glasses for a very long time, and yeah, I'm getting LASIK pretty soon, so that's pretty cool. Once it was the day of the surgery, I made sure to take 1 of the 5-milligram tablets of Valium an hour before arriving at the doctor's office, and then I took the remaining 5-milligram tablet upon arriving. Here's a video I took moments before the surgery. Well, only about an hour left of wearing glasses or contacts for the rest of my life. They gave me this thing. Ow, dude, you're hurting me. Get off. This is probably a good time for me to briefly and quickly explain how the procedure works. First, you will lay down and the surgeon will apply anesthetic eye drops to numb the surface of the eye so that there is no pain during the procedure. He also applied a lid speculum to hold my eyelids open, preventing any blinking during the surgery. Once the eyes are prepped, the surgery will begin. He began by creating a thin flap in the outer layer of the cornea. This is when the laser comes in as they start to reshape your cornea with it. As my surgeon was making changes and recorrecting my vision, I remember him telling me to stare at a green light, then some noises would happen. Then he'd tell me to look at another light, some more noises would go on, and I went through that cycle with both eyes separately. After he finished lasering my eyeball, the surgeon carefully repositioned the corneal flap back into its original position. No stitches were required. I'm aware that some people may be squeamish to the idea of someone touching and working on their eyeballs, but personally that was not a factor. I didn't feel any pain throughout the entire duration of the surgery. The only thing I really felt was occasional pressure in my eye from the machine. And it all happened so fast that I didn't even have time to think about what was going on. Once it was over, the results were basically instantaneous. I remember him asking me to read something on the wall that was in the operating room, and for the first time ever, I could read far away without the need for external lenses. My overall vision was a tad blurry because I was recovering from the trauma of the machine, but that's totally normal. They had me chill in the office for another hour or so, I guess, to monitor me, which was over double the time I spent in the operating room. This is what I looked like when I was chilling in the office immediately after surgery. They also require a dedicated driver to bring you to and from the office because you are not permitted to drive after the surgery. This is what my eyes look like on the ride back home. As you can see, my eyes are bloodshot, but that will go away with due time.
Oh, it's about 3 hours after surgery or so, and I don't know if you can see, but my eye, like, it's like kind of bloodshot in a way. It's very dry, but it's to the point where I can look in light now. I had to wear these sunglasses for a while. I just got to wear these things at night for like the next week. Tip of the morning, eh? But yeah, I gotta wear those at night, so like I guess I don't scratch my eyes in my sleep or something. But other than that, I can pretty much see pretty well. It's kind of blurry, kind of light sensitive, pretty dry so far, but it's only been like 3 hours after surgery and it's already just like almost fixed.
I was ecstatic to have my vision cured after so long of being blind. And you know I had to post about it on my Instagram story.
And just like that, my motherfucking eyes are bloodshot as f. But hey, f all this shit. You see these fucking contacts, Ziggy? F all that shit. We don't need this shit anymore. Yeah, go get that shit. These glasses? No, we don't need that shit. No, we don't need that shit. Nah, in fact, I got these cool ass night shades now. Yeah.
My eyes stayed bloodshot until I went to sleep that night. But when I woke up, they already were almost back to normal.
It's been just about 24 hours since I've had my procedure done. I got 20/20 vision in my right eye already, and I have 20/25 in my left eye. As you can see, like kind of like my left eye is like got little bruising, hemorrhages, I think they called it, but it doesn't really hurt at all. I still have to use prednisone and ofloxacin or whatever. It's a steroid drop and an antibiotic drop. I still got to use those every day for about a week or so, but so far so good. A little bit of blurry in both eyes, but very tad, very little bit, and not really light sensitive anymore. So already about a day after surgery, it's pretty much perfect. I just gotta heal up just a little bit more.
My surgeon instructed me that it's very important I do not rub or touch my eyes for several days after, as that can dislodge the corneal flap. The flap was what he lifted during the surgery so that he could fire lasers directly into my cornea. No stitches were needed, but that's because the flap naturally adheres back to the underlying corneal tissue. It will take about a week for the flap to fully heal, which is why I was instructed to touch my eye as least as possible in that time frame. They also gave me this paper with instructions of how to use the medicated drops post-surgery. You have to use both steroid and antibiotic drops several times a day for a week post-op. It's also smart to use artificial tears to ensure that your eyes are comfortable during the healing process and not super dry, because the surgery does dry out your eyes. Here's some more valuable information regarding post-operative measures they gave me. Now it's time to talk about results. Within 12 hours, I already had 20/20 vision in my right eye and 20/25 in my left. My right eye healed extremely fast. Basically within a day, it was fine. My left eye took a little bit more time to heal. That was the one with the hemorrhages on it, but after about 2 weeks, I had perfect vision in both my eyes.
It's been about 10 days since I've had the surgery. Nothing really much has changed vision-wise. Like I still have 20/20 in this eye, and this eye's still a little bit blurry from all distances. It's still a little bit bruised, doesn't hurt, just I guess cosmetically has that bloodshot. The swellings went down from several days prior. They did give me these eye shields to wear at night for the first week, so I'm pretty much done wearing these. This is how it looks when it's on. It's just to keep you from like scratching or poking your eyes when you're sleeping. You can't like help it or whatever. It doesn't really bother. It's not really that uncomfortable. It's just like kind of there, but I don't got to wear these anymore. So that's pretty cool.
I'm 26 now, but I got the surgery when I was 24 years old. And to this day, as far as I know, I have perfect vision and zero negative side effects. Many of my surgeon's patients seem to be a few decades older than me. And he told me that most people say they wish they had gotten the surgery done sooner. To say the least, LASIK eye surgery was absolutely life-changing for me. For years, the first thing I did when I woke up was to reach for corrective lenses, but now I don't even think about my eyes. They just work all the time. I know there are a lot of horror stories out there about LASIK and how it can go wrong, but in my experience, it was overwhelmingly positive. If your vision sucks, I personally 100% recommend getting LASIK if you can afford it. I look at it as not only an investment for my health, but an overall enhancement in my quality of life. Speaking of health and longevity, watch this video next to learn about a biohacker who spent millions of dollars on his body to literally become immortal. Spoiler alert, he messed up his face. My name is Fish and I stay low key. Peace out.